So hi, so today the main topic is the B-tree implementation using TypeScript. Um, it's already kind of like confession that like the you like B-tree implementation is really kind of hard. So what I mean is kind of hard is that when you look at the wait, hold on, where was the whatever not this, yeah, let's just use this kind of. If you look at this kind of graph here, let's look at this graph, and when trying to do the daily operations, insertion is kind of easy, but daily operation is kind of really hard. A lot of like research paper and a lot of like the PDF or PowerPoint from the other famous university talks about B-tree and how to do the how the B-tree deletion works. If it's they said if it's the leaf node and trying to delete, example, you're trying to delete let's say 12, and the minimum degree is 3, so that's it means that let's say 2. So if the minimum degree is 2, t is 2, the min keys that node can handle is 1, and max key is 3. So let's say if you're trying to delete this 12, if you're trying to delete 12, it's going to be underflows because main key is 1. So if it is leaf node, they said you have to borrow from the siblings, which is 17. If you're trying to borrow from 17, that means you're trying to delete 17 from the siblings, and you have to put into your current node. We also mean say if you're trying to delete this, you have to make sure that this won't cause underflows. If it's not cause underflow, you can borrow it. You can borrow 17 from the parent, and parent go to the left to make sure that B-tree, how the B-tree works, because B-tree is just kind of extension of like binary tree. The right goes, the bigger value puts into right, and smaller value goes to the left. So when it goes to 17 and it puts into the parent, this 17 when you put the 17 here and the 15 goes here, and this just got 18. So that's pretty fine, but there's no issue of it. But the problem is that when you try to delete, not verb, let's just delete verb here. Not this. So let's say you're trying to delete 22. Let's say 22, yeah. Let's say if you're trying to delete 22, if you're trying to delete 22 and you're not able to borrow something, you have to make parent to merge it into like this. So 24 goes to the like this part of the meter. If there's no, it's still the B-tree because your parents is it doesn't break rules of the underflows. It's still balanced. And that's pretty easy. What if even your parents, when you're trying to borrow from parents, that would cause underflows? Let's say you're trying to delete 36. 36, you cannot borrow from a sibling, you cannot even merge with the parents. So that is the kind of tricky part. So what it does, you have to do is, you have to borrow from the 38, whatever, even cause underflows. And if it's like there's no note of it, you have to go to this pointer and do the same stuff. Borrow from 35, it's cause underflow, borrow from the 42, and try to merge it. So that's even tricky part, but you can make it. But what even worse is still kind of, you can really understand it. I think the more hard part is that when you try to delete the 32, like when you're trying to delete the internal node of it. Let's say you're trying to delete 38. In a lot of like papers and the PowerPoints, they talk about if you try to delete internal node, you have to borrow from um, the children, whatever it causes underflows. But what they didn't talk about is how do you manage if your borrowings causing underflows. Even this causing underflow and your pointer goes here, it will do the same stuff, borrow from the parents and merge stuff. So that's kind of really hard for me because it means that even though you borrow from you borrow from the child, you just end up like doing the some kind of merge step what leaf node does. And I found out that merge, if you cannot borrow from siblings, the merge from parent isn't just the balance logic in the leaf operation. It's not really the balance logic like merging stuff and by pulling the parents key is not really the leaf node operation. And it's both leaf node operation and it's also the internal operation. And that was really kind of hard for me. It was really hard to try to like figure out because there's no kind of like how do I say it, abstract paper or some kind of formula of it. So even in the YouTube they didn't talk about like those things deeply. So leaf node operation, internal operation, like is they do same stuff. So what you have to do is if you cannot borrow from the parents, siblings, and merge from the parents isn't merge from parents. So those kind of logic is kind of both thing. So you have to make this thing. You have to abstract this kind of logic into functions, into some kind of balanced logic. So I think that's a really hard part, and I'm trying to implement like it's very kind of already done. So only this part left, like only 30% or 25% left, and after implement this part, I will show you the code. So this is the implementation next time. Bye bye.